Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now is what people are seeing and experiencing in everyday life when it comes to being of the prepared mind. And I get sent pictures and videos and emails. And if you would like to send me something for an email or for a video, just email me my description, my description, that too. My email's in the description box below. Long day, no kidding. Long day in the kitchen. I'm going to show you pictures of what I've been doing. I have made apple juice, blueberry juice, orange juice, cranberry juice, orange marmalade, pineapple marmalade, very berry jam, and applesauce. It's been a crazy day, very crazy day, and my brain is like scrambled eggs. It really is. So here are pictures of what I did. I've got my canner going because I'm water bath canning right now. So the apple juice and the pineapple juice is, or not pineapple juice. No, not pineapple juice. Sorry, cranberry juice is in the canner right now. Mom brain. So here's something that I came across, and I wanted to bring it to your attention. And somebody else had sent me something about this as well, and I was just like, "Yeah, I got to talk about this because this is something. No kidding." So this might be like a sign of the times. I don't know, but there is a new movie, and it's a cyber apocalyptic movie that's out on Netflix, and it's called Leave the World Behind. And there's a warning in the movie that certain people should not be trusted if the world faces an apocalyptic disaster. So, this movie was produced by 45 and his wife. It stars Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, and Kevin Bacon. And the movie's plot, it follows a family that is vacationing in a rental house on Long Island. And it's a 2 hour film, 2 hour plus film, about what happens when the grid goes down in the US. And it's like a cautionary tale, if you will, about our reliance on technology. And it's also a timely story about the historical fissures in modern American society that threaten to see the nation implode. There are themes of terrorism, technology, nature gone haywire, tension simmering and boiling over. What happens may seem extreme to some, but to us, this is something that we talk about all the time. But it feels based on what could be a new reality for us. Why do I say that? Because of who produced it. So at the beginning of the movie, the vacation home owner and his daughter, they arrive at the house after a major cyber attack occurs across the United States. During one scene, okay, the man and his daughter are seen together and they're about to go to sleep. And his daughter states, if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially certain people. So here, just take a listen, okay?
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people. Even Mom would agree with me on that.
Now, with all of this being said, do you think this is a sign of times of what may come? I mean, think about who produced it first, and then ask yourself, why would they produce a movie like this? The reason why I ask you this question is because there are movies that were made that actually predicted the future. Take, for example, Gattaca, gene editing. The movie Megan, it's about the humanizing of AI. Contagion and the C-19, okay? Do you see where I'm going with this? And the fact that the one who actually is running the show just so happens to be the producer of this movie. Maybe I'm looking at this all the wrong way. I don't know, but something just feels off about it. You tell me. Okay, so this was sent in by a community member and it's a video. She left a link, so I'll put the link in the description box below. And she said, I wanted to share this thought provoking documentary with you. Well, thank you very much. It's called The Great Awakening. So here's something that was sent in by a community member, and it's two pictures. And she said, banks, what does this mean? So put the pictures up, but it says 12 of the largest banks in the United States have formally notified their credit card providers that they will cease requiring their services effective midnight on Thursday, December 14th. Financial institutions globally are shutting down physical branches at an increasing rate. And it names JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citibank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, State Street Bank and Trust Company, and HSBC Bank USA. So here's an email from a community member, and she said, I have a question about considering Atlantic City as a food desert. I think that may have been the case years ago, but both AC and Ventnor have large grocery stores, not just bodegas. Maybe not ShopRite or Sam's Club, but Aldi and Save-A-Lot are there. Are they really? Because that video that I, introduced you guys to is like literally recent. But then again, I have not been to to home into Atlantic City since 2017. So she said Ventnor has a grocery store too, and Ventnor doesn't require a visit to Egg Harbor Township to go to Walmart. Thanks for letting me share. You're welcome. See, this is news to me. I didn't know that there was an Aldi's and a Save-A-Lot because they did not state in that news coverage that all they said was, this is a food desert. There's nothing here. That's why we have the mobile grocery store. But I'm happy to know that there is at least a Save-A-Lot and an Aldi. Yeah. So I hope you're ready for some inspiration because a community member sent in some really awesome pictures. She said, all sealed, 14 carts of harvest soup. That's awesome. I've been having good luck with these last couple of batches. Nothing has gone wrong. But then again, I'm water bath canning right now. So I haven't pressure canned since I talked to you the last time about those 7 jars not sealing. She said, now working on a bushel of apples. I did apples today. Yeah. I did applesauce and apple juice. Yeah. She said, that huge box of discarded apples with a few bad spots, but I'm going to make something delicious out of it. Added raspberry syrup, elderberries from my trees with a quart of blueberries and a lot of quart of dates. Cook this baby down all day and get it up. Yeah, these are awesome. You personally, you inspire me. That's why I got back on my game. So here you go. Okay, so here's something that was sent in by a community member, and I'm going to read it to you because I mean the writing is like little like that. It says FISA Reform and Reauthorization Act, the biggest expansion in government surveillance since the Patriot Act. Despite its name, FISA Reform and Reauthorization Act is not a reform bill. It would act like the biggest expansion of surveillance inside the United States since the Patriot Act while doing nothing to rein in the abuses we've seen under Section 702. Section 504, massive expansion of surveillance through an innocuous seeming change to the definition of electronic communication service provider. The bill would vastly expand the universe that must assist the government in conducting Section 702 surveillance. Going forward, it would not just be entities that have direct access to communications like email, phone service providers that could be required to turn over communications. Any business that has access to equipment on which communications are stored and transmitted would be fair game. That means hotels, libraries, coffee shops, other businesses that provide Wi-Fi could be compelled to serve as surrogate spies, structuring their systems so that they can give the government access to entire communication streams, conscripting U.S. businesses into intelligence agency service was a feature in 2007 Protect America Act. Congress explicitly and appropriately rejected this feature 1 year later when it passed Section 702. Botched sunset. The bill sets a sunset date of December 2031. For one thing, 8 years is too far long for that law that carries inherent risk to American civil liberties. Any such law should require more frequent review by Congress, but the bill also includes a separate provision under which only the reforms would sunset. Under this provision, beginning in 2032, Section 702 would remain in place indefinitely without reforms. Special treatment for members of Congress. Of course. How could they leave that out? Surprise, surprise. The bill requires the FBI to get the consent of members of Congress when it starts to conduct a query of their communications for so-called defense purposes. When the FBI wants to conduct a query of ordinary Americans' communications for the same purpose, no consent is needed. Of course not. Why would they? Accountability light, whereas the House Judiciary Committee's bill would require government officials to disclose the FISA court any adverse or exculpatory information when filing a Title I application. The HPSCI bill would require internal disclosure to the Attorney General, who can then decide whether or not to tell the court. In addition, the HJC bill accuracy procedures would apply anytime the government makes an application to the FISA court for any order, while the HPSCI bill accuracy procedures would only apply to certain limited groups of applications. A prohibition on queries that don't happen. The bill's marquee reform is a prohibition on evidence of a crime only queries, i.e., queries in which there is no intent to seek foreign intelligence. This provision is carefully designed to do nothing. Nothing. The FBI also almost never labels it queries. Evidence of a crime only in 2022. Out of the 200,000 queries, there were only 2 instances in which the FBI assessed Section 702 data as a result of evidence of a crime only searches that would be covered by this prohibition. The provision would have done nothing whatsoever to prevent the queries of BLM, tens of thousands of other involved in civil unrest, over 19,000 donors to a congressional campaign, or members of Congress. Codification of an unacceptable status quo other than the meaningless prohibition. The bill's solution to abusive queries is to codify procedural changes the FBI made in 2021-2022, but we already know that these are inadequate. After the changes were made, the government reported that the violations are continuing at a rate of approximately 4,000 per year. And the shocking abuses are also continuing, including recent searches of the communications of a U.S. senator, state senator, and a state court judge who contacted the FBI to report civil rights violations by a local police chief. Whoa! Well, I know you can't see it, but I'm going to put it up anyway, okay? Because maybe you could just pause, and if you can enlarge your screen, And here's an email from a community member. And she said, I just called the Clover company and talked to a person there. He said the new Clover models detect human flesh. Thank you. And this is why my rubber finger would not work. He swore that they're not trying to collect biometrics. Well, there's your red flag right there. When I expressed horror, he said that modern day stoves work this way. I did not know that, as I use my stove for storage. Huh. And before I go, here is one more email and with a link. So I'll leave the link in the description box below. And she said, first, a reminder to bring cash with you if traveling tonight at 12:14. That is when credit cards from the 12 big banks are said to no longer work due to the ceasing of contracts with card services. No idea why. The rumor says they don't work. This is a link. Sounds like a reset. Might be a crypto thing only. Business stuff makes my eyes glaze over. Yeah, no kidding. Same here. So that link will be in the description box below. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, you stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless.